Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Vintage Story, Unearthed, for 120. Okay, since I still have plenty of winter left, I mean, it is now March, but if you look at the temperature, it's 8 below right now, and it's only 7 p.m., which I would love to plant crops, but I have a feeling they just end up getting frostbitten immediately. I might... Actually, what is the freezing temp of the Flax again? I don't remember. Wrong one. Still the wrong one. There it is. It is 5 below. Which means I can only go as low as 10 in here. And it's currently -8. That would really be pushing it, but I think I might be able to do it. It's early enough. Let's do it. I'm just going to grab a bunch of these and start seeing if I can get an early crop of Flax. No idea if it's actually going to work or not. With there still being a decent amount of winter left, I figured, well, since I'm also going to have to wait for this to grow, I might as well get prepped on the next level of progression, and that's going to involve kind of getting into some steel or something along those lines. I want to go to the Resonance Archive very badly, but I am determined to do it via boat. So, until then, I'm going to need other materials, and that does not mean I have to wait for Flax to grow, so I might as well kind of prep myself for both. And it's a lengthy process anyway, to get set up and to actually use. But we're going to start with something simple, a pulverizer. Now, if you type in pulverizer in here, yes, there's going to be a guide as well. Sometimes I might refer to it as a pounder, so please be aware. But a pulverizer basically is this cage here that has an axle running through it, and it has these pulverizer pounders, 2 of them, with metal caps on the bottoms, and they go up and down, being alternated by this toggle, smashing little things at the bottom, and then that kind of falls out. It's similar to the grinding aspect, but instead it's turning things into a powder, much finer, and is made for, well, things that are a bit tougher, like stones or things like that. I know that you can grind up many things in the grinder up there, the quern, but this is going to be for something a little bit more industrial. Oh, and I'll need lots of materials for that as well, but for now I think I should just focus on trying to make one. And instead of jumping into these top 2 things here, as well as the caps that you will need for the pulverizer pounder, and yes, again, there is stuff in the guides about this, so you don't have to rely on this video, but I am here to please, as well as enjoy this myself. So, I'm going to need a lot of wood, a saw, and some kind of stone in order to get that going. And I double-checked, I did not have this. I went out to just find a piece of granite stone. I didn't think that was worth recording. I did end up getting 2.5 stacks of rich copper in the process, so that was kind of good. It was just outside. I think it was, where is it? Like over here. I went through, and there was an underground connection somewhere around here. I can't remember where. And I just, where I've been getting most of my quartz and my chalk, and that's where I went down and I just started exploring a little bit, and I found a bunch of copper. Anyway. I have a bunch of maple that I am not really caring about because I don't plan on building with it too much. So I'm going to be getting all the these boards that I need from that. And then if I look up the pulverizer again, because I don't remember what the recipe is, it'll be really nice if there was a way to memorize this. I bet you there's a mod out there for that. I haven't looked. Probably should. And install that, because just having the ability to favorite something is going to be really nice. But anyway, pulverizer frame. It is a 2-block tall structure, and it looks a lot scarier when you're holding it. It's kind of in miniature here. It's actually much bigger than what I'm making it look like while holding it like this. But here we go. See, I place it down and it kind of grows. It's as tall as I am. But yeah, the axles will end up connecting on one of these 2 sides here, but first I will need the other parts of it. So let's look at the toggles. That's going to need 2 wooden axles, which are going to need some fat and some wood, plus a plate of some sort. I've got an iron plate that I feel I might just end up using so that I don't have to make any more. And that's probably going to do it for that. So, all right, let's make the toggle next. And I do have some wooden axles left, which is fortuitous for me. Grab this iron plate. Also going to need a chisel and a hammer, which, let me grab this. There we go. Got a hammer. And with that, there we go. Pulverizer toggle. Done. And you just right click with it on here and you'll see it get inserted. So it's similar in how it works as the Helve hammer, because these nibs here will rotate, and as they rotate it will make the pounders go up and down. So it's just how that works. If you have any clue, if you are interested. All right, and if you look up pounder, you'll see that there's the pounders themselves, and then there's different caps. Now the caps are important because if you go with too low of a tier of a cap and you've got too high of a tier of a stone or item that you want to smash, then it will not get smashed. It will just get fed in and fed out, and it just goes away. Well, it doesn't delete it or anything, but it won't be able to actually process it. So in this case, I've got iron. I'm going to make it iron. That's the highest thing I have right now, short of meteoric, but I'm not going to use my meteoric for that. I plan on using iron pounder caps in this just so I can smash the highest tier that I have available to me. Maybe in the future I might go with steel if I need it, but I don't think I will for a very long time. So starting off with iron is going to make my life a lot easier. But before then, let's make these sticks that it's going to connect to. So I just need 3 logs for 1, and I need 2 of those. So let's go with this 1 pounder and the other. Do they stack? No, they don't. And I don't know how they look while holding it. Yeah, there we go. nice and chunky stick. But you just kind of right click it in there and it goes into place. And if you had the caps ready, you could click that on here. They're only good in a pair. You cannot put one on at a time, so you have to have 2. They have to be the same material as well. You can't put 2 different materials. So I would need to just right click on here, then it would be ready for any kind of rotational power on one of these 2 sides. You then feed in the stuff on the back with some kind of chute being fed by a chest or something, or you could kind of just place it in there, and then it'll just drop into the world over here, which if you have a hopper or something along those lines, then you can also hopper it into a chest too. But as I'm still accumulating all the things here, I think next is going to be I need to make myself those caps. And I've got some iron blooms. Here we go. I've got some here. All right, I've got 3 of these are filled with iron blooms, which works just fine for me. I'll start at the bottom. Makes it... Oh, oops, don't harvest the ones that don't have blooms in them, Valen. There we go. And then I can always put more of those down later. For now, I'm not as interested. And yeah, I put these paths here just so I wouldn't have to keep digging out the snow each time to try and get out underneath this little ledge, because the snow is making things a bit heavy, a bit taller to stand on. But this should do just fine. Alright, it looks like I've got some wind speed going on here just from the speed that this is going. So let's see if I turn this on. It does look like it's going at a pretty decent speed, so I might as well take advantage of that. I'll just need a bit of charcoal in order to get this going, or brown coal if I have any. And as usual, I like to bring the effect sound level down very low for this, which is also another reason why I like to be in a somewhat protected area. This should keep guys from just wandering in and giving me a smack on the backside. So hopefully this will work to keep me moderately protected at the very least. And maybe I can work through the night while it's still windy like this, get some of these iron blooms up and going. I'm only going to need 2 of them, but we'll see how I do. Alright, and here's where I have to choose an iron pounder cap. I'm only making 1 at a time, and this is not going to actually... Let's see if I can click this at the right moment. There we go. It's not actually going to do anything because it's not set up to make rounded devices. So that means that I'm just going to have to do it myself. It's It's not too bad to make, it's just a matter of chiseling out a whole bunch of stuff, and you might have to chisel a little bit of the stuff underneath. Or maybe not. I forgot. I guess I don't. It's just a matter of chiseling out a few of them. It's one of the easier ones to make, thankfully. So I'll just set that over there for now, because it's hot. Put this on here and reconnect. And iron cap number 2. There we go. Nothing like a bit of ice water to help deform these a little bit. And now that I have 2 of these iron powder caps, you can see it says tier 3, so it should smash any tier 3 materials. I just right click and they'll both go on here, and this thing is ready to be set up and used. So let's actually get that going then. When you break it, all the stuff you've assembled will fall back into parts again. So yeah, make sure that you've got space in your inventory for it. While I think of it, I'm going to take my hammer and a bunch of this copper and smash that into bits, specifically all the poor and medium stuff, so I can make some more copper. I would like to make some plates, and I've got a few. I've got enough for like 3 plates, I think, because I want to actually have some automation for the pounder. It's really nice one to set up automation for. It doesn't require nearly as much as the quern does if you're trying to automate it. But if you look up chute, you can see that there are chute sections. I'm looking for an elbow chute because I'm going to have a chest up on top and it's going to be feeding into the side. That's going to take 2 chute sections. There we go. That should make 8 ingots worth, and I've got, well, 8 ingot molds. So that's pretty much what I'm going for. If you on occasion, by the way, are hearing what sounds like an old school light, like fluorescent light or something like that making a sound or whatever, that's our little friend upstairs. It's not anything to do with my audio quality this time. Here we go. Not sure exactly how many pieces of charcoal is going to take, so I will keep a close eye on it, but for now I'm putting 8 pieces in there, since I've got 8 units that I am in need of to make. I am also taking with me some quartz chunks, because those are going to be my experiment to work with here. Got a reed chest. I wanted to save that for something else. Didn't I have some hinges? I do have some hinges. Or nails and strips. I keep calling them hinges, but it's nails and strips for a chest. So I could make a couple of those. In fact, I'm going to save 1 and then take the other 2 for this setup. There we go. Just making a few more boards, or yes, boards, so that I can make 2 chests. Yes, 2 wooden chests. Perfect. Alright, so putting this down, I know I'm going to need more of these. I would also like a hopper besides that chute section, which I think I'm going to have to smelt up on this anvil. Ooh, 3 plates. Ouch. That's 6 ingots. Well, should be pretty easy to do if I've got the wind power, which it sure looks like I do. So I'm going to put a bunch of these on here and get this going while I've also got the other copper smelting up. Alright, now to get this going, put this on here, specify 2 plates, or a plate, and put 2 ingots on there. Now this is a slow process, but it is much faster, easier, and with no durability loss used with my trusty held hammer. While that's doing the second one, I'm going to go check on the other unit here. Oh, I probably should have lit the forge up for another one. Oh well, it's fine. I just need to pour this at the moment. There we go. And now put that back on the shelf. Let those cool and continue on with my other project, making a hopper. There we go. That should do it. And with this, I've got 3 copper plates, which allows me to make 1 hopper. And it's already cooled. Look at that. Yay! I'll say it's because I'm out here in the cold. Not because they were hot. Anyway. I have chests, and this whole setup is actually going to be a bit awkward. And by that, I'm kind of meaning because, well, I'm going to have to kind of break and replace stuff for now because I don't have enough materials to set up a lot of multiple things. Plus, this is a singular windmill. This is not set up with a lot of power for multiple windmills. But anyway, I'm going to try and squeeze this in here. So if I put this here, it's facing away from me. All right, let's try that again. So if I put this here, there we go. It faces away from me. Let me break this dirt here and you'll be able to see better. All right, can I actually get down here? Yes. Oh, I'm catching onto the ladder. That's what's happening. So if I put that there, now I can put this hopper. Is it... I might need to use a wrench for this. It's aiming straight down. Well, I can still have a chest down below this. Just have like a small step that goes down here or something. Either way, I'm putting a chest here. So anything that goes into this... Let me put a ladder so that I can actually get back up. Anything that goes into this, like, say, dirt, gets picked up just like in another certain blocky game. There you go. It's a hopper. That's pretty much what it does. But this, the stuff when it's done being smashed will just slide out into this. And I might put like a trapdoor on top of this or something like that so that I can get in and out of here. I can't access this from above because the bounding box of the hopper is a full-size block. So otherwise I would fill this block in and then just access it through the corner here, but not going to happen. Anyway. Alright, so I have the gear, and I'm wondering if I put it... I might have to break this, because it doesn't want to connect to the right thing. So as you can see, there's a little bit of break and replace going on here that I was talking about. Just trying to get things to work properly. Now it'll work properly. Alright, so if I put this down, that's still going to be there for future reference or future use. But I still need to put the other parts in. Let's put the toggle in. You can see that it is now rotating. I can put in these pounders, and you can see that they are being lifted and dropped. And you can see there's like this little ledge here that is causing that to happen. And with two of them, they kind of make this little like bump, 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 like a rapid fire thing. Can I please get upstairs? There we go. Sadly, it's kind of piercing through the roof a little bit, but I'm not too bothered by that. If I wanted to, I could have the chest back here, which I might just do that. Let's put the chest here, and this is where I'm going to have the chute coming down into it. Because I think I can have that there. If not, then I'll have it, like, lower, I guess. I'm not sure if this is pulverizing nothing, mechanical power part. Down here, pulverizing nothing. So I don't know if it gets fed into the top or bottom. I can't remember. It's not... It's usually something that I set and forget. There we go. Putting the caps on there, you get the lovely sound of it tapping on the stone. So let's see. Can I put anything in here? I think just by right-clicking. Yeah, see, I can only add one thing at a time by hand, which is why you really want to use a chute. But I just right-clicked on the top there. And there we go. We've got crushed quartz already. Which can be used for refractory bricks. And that, which actually also this will smelt into 2 glass, but the refractory bricks are what I'm going to be needing for the next project of making steel. For now though, I don't want to hand feed this stuff in here one at a time. I'm also going to need a lot more quartz. So I am going to, yeah, there you go, you saw it just come through. I am going to need to go and get a bunch of quartz. And if my copper is not cooled off yet, then I might do just that. I hope that it is cool. That would be nice. It is hardened. Yay! On the plus side, because I've already got a chest here, though, I can just store these extra parts in here for as I need them, and then I don't need to worry about it so much. In fact, I'll even put the quartz chunks in there for when I've got the chutes ready. And with that, yes, I should be able to resume working on this. So an elbow chute takes 2 chute sections. These are made on an anvil. I think it's only 1 ingot is needed per, unless you really mess it up. But that's what I'm going to start with. If I need more than that, well, I can just always smelt some more. I am going to need to get a whole lot of charcoal in the future, so here's hoping that I have enough to last through this current project before I have to go do that. So this one looks a lot like the pounding cap, so I don't anticipate it being too difficult to process this one. So yeah, okay. And there we go, 1 elbow chute, which should be all I need. Now just to readjust these gears again. Be right back. Alright, so here's a little bit of a bug. Because I had broken this off, which is where this was connected before, you'll notice that it's not spinning anymore. Well, you just need to do a break and reconnect of the part, and then it should work again. There we go, and now I can take this chute. Oops, don't put it there. Let's try this side. There we go. You can also use a wrench to rotate this around. But now, when I put things in here, specifically, let's grab this quartz chunk. I can put this up here, and it will automatically start feeding. There's one now in here and one in the machine. And then when one drops out, it'll go down into this, and so on. And it'll just kind of sit there until these things have been processed one at a time. And you'll start seeing them come through. Okay, so that's not how this is going to want to work for some reason. So I am going to need to reposition this. Let's try here on the side, and then putting the chute over here, maybe? Actually, here, I think I need to sit on this side of it so that it feeds in. And then if I put this in here, yeah, there we go, that works. Okay. And now you can start seeing these things are now pouring from one into the other as it goes. Pretty nifty. And I'm going to need a lot of these. Oh, it did go through. Okay, good. If you really want to make sure that things go in properly and that they don't get oopsed off to the side, you can always put like a block off on one. In this case, there's a ladder here that should help with that a bit. Put a piece of dirt, but I don't think that it'll be a problem. I've not really had any issues in the past because it kind of pulls into this hopper in a small area above it and next to it. Oh, and it looks like it's time for me to go get some food. And with that, I think we'll pause and end it here for this episode. Tune in next time for the continuation of Vintage Story Unearthed for 120.